Hey guys, welcome back to HammerDroids.net. This is a quick video review of the Samsung Galaxy Note. You've perhaps already seen my unboxing. If not, go and take a look. I've just finished doing the actual write-up review on the website. I would recommend going and have a look at that for a more detailed sort of review, but I'm just going to cover a few points here. The first thing anyone will notice about the Note is going to be the size. So with the S2, generally you hand it to someone, they're amazed at the weight, as in how light. With this, it's just the sheer size. And if I compare next to the S2, you get a rough idea there of the difference. And it is quite a bit heavier, 178 grams. It's the heaviest device I've ever owned, I think. Although I can't remember how heavy the Dell Street was. But I didn't really own that. I used it for review, and I'm actually using this as a main device at the moment. So yeah, I mean the size is the main thing, and what you will find is it's hard to then use as a one-handed device. So I can just about reach the notification bar, and I can reach the far corner, but then I can't reach up to the top left. Well, not without sort of a real stretch. So I mean that's one thing to bear in mind. It's generally a lot easier to use two-handed. What I have found, it's quite easy to sort of type, because it's so big basically. Test, oh dear, yeah. That's pretty quick and easy to bash away. Message. So yeah, I mean it is a big device and it's easier to use two-handed, but it's pleasurable. I mean you fit so much more information. Let's just show you, for example, I use this almost every day when I'm checking what TV show I need to watch next, and it just fits so much more information on than any other device. And the screen, personally, I think it looks fantastic, and a lot of people worry about Samsung's AMOLED, Super AMOLED. Don't know how well, if that's focusing well or not for you, but I think the text looks very crisp and clear. Then obviously you have just sort of how much information will fit on the screen when it's this size. So even in portrait, I mean the problem is obviously that's tiny. All that text is tiny when you're fully zoomed out. But then if you rotate it, obviously, now it's kind of readable. Missed it. But that is, whoopsie. But yeah, so I mean you do generally, you can fit so much more on the screen because it's such a huge size, obviously. Let me show you real quick sort of a game being played as well. Good old Angry Birds. So you can hear the speakers pretty good as well. I don't think it's quite as loud as the S2, but as you could hear, it's plenty. So you can see that's silky smooth, no lag or delay or anything. And again, it just looks fantastic. I don't know how well it's transferring to the video, but sorry, I'm not really trying very hard on that one. Let's see if we can do a quick video from YouTube for you as well. I've no idea what this video is, I'm afraid, but it's perhaps not the best to display video capabilities. Let's see what. So again, it perhaps, I don't know how well it transfers onto the video, but that looks pretty fantastic. Obviously the screen I've not mentioned yet is 1280 by 800, so I mean 800, you think about 800 pixels from there to there, that's pretty impressive really. And it does mean you can watch, you know, in full 720p. I would play a video, but that might get me removed from YouTube, so I better not. Now, the other thing we have underneath is the S Pen. I was about to say it's kind of tricky to get out, and then it almost fell out. But once you've actually sort of levered it out, it says on there that's Samsung. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yep. There's a little button on it. Again, will it focus on that? Maybe not. Come on. Well, there is a little button just there. Maybe you can hear it. Which, if, for example, if I press that button and just as the device goes into standby, so I press the button, double tap, up shoots the quick memo. I can change all variety of things: pen color, pen thickness. I'm not really sure what the difference of these makes. Brush, pencil. Let's just stick with the pen. You can then scribble away. It's generally pretty accurate and pretty responsive, I think. I don't know how well you can see. So, you know, I can imagine that being quite handy. Someone to, oh, don't forget, oh, here's my phone number. Scribble away, and then you can save it. Now, I quite like that it's, from what I understand, the HTC Fly has a pen, but it can only be used in certain apps. This can actually be used anywhere for anything, which you might think, well, why, you know, why we're beyond that these days, why would I want to? But what it does mean is that if you have other apps, so for example, I've got like a Pictionary type game, what the Doodle, which is all about, you know, your word is shovel, and you've got to draw a shovel. Obviously, that's great with a pen. And yeah, basically any other apps that people develop, you can use the pen to use. Or if you've got a favourite art app, you can use the pen in the art app. Now, here's the main memo application, which has mainly been used to kind of annotate images or for drawings and stuff in the kind of the examples that you get. Here's my fantastic, my artistic. So, oh, where did it all go? I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, so if you start a new one, there it is. You get to change the background. So you might prefer it to be on lined paper, thinner lines, squared. There's a whole bunch of different types of paper, music. Yeah, you have whichever you want, and off you go. Except you can't see the arrow. Now, the only thing I thought a bit annoying, as far as I could see, let me just double check. No, yeah, if you hold the button and swipe it, I think it goes back rather than anything else. Oh, and there are options on each of the pads. I'm not sure, sync with what? Oh, Google Docs, okay. Oh, that's quite clever, I didn't know that was there, to be honest. So you can sync, so that's one thing I did want, you want to be able to sync these things somewhere, and that is possible. But for me, the biggest annoyance was, I wanted to be able to go to the next page, basically. If I'm in a meeting, for example, I'm scribbling away at my notes, and then I get to the bottom of the minute, all I can do is save it and start a new one again, and off I go again, which is going to be a bit annoying. I'm going to build up lots of pages. I'd rather I could just flip through or scroll it upwards, because there's a, when you're using it, if you zoom in, oh dear, you can zoom in like so. Oops. And if you use two fingers, you can maneuver around it. So that's quite clever. And in theory, you could start writing like that and just be moving along to different points of the page. But still, it's only one page. So maybe there's an app out there that already does it. I can't find it at the moment. But all in all, you know, the pen's an addition. It's not a replacement to anything. So someone that was saying, oh, it's a step backwards, they shouldn't have done it, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's not a step backwards. It's just an addition. How can that be a bad thing? You still operate the phone the same way with your finger and everything else the same. But if there is something where you need quite precise use, you've got a pen. So, you know, I don't really see how it's a bad thing. Usually I don't like to comment on battery life so early on, but I thought I'll just show you. You know, I've only been using this for a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, and excuse me. And generally, I prefer to use a device for at least 10 days before I start commenting on battery life. But with the big 2500 milliamp hour battery that's in the Note, it's quite easily gone pretty much a day. It was yesterday around this kind of time that I'd last taken it off charge. You can see it's had a couple of bits where I've had to plug it into the computer to get some files off or for other bits and pieces. And you can also see the erratic changes, but that's because it's not calibrated properly just yet. And I'm going to guess that when it's calibrated properly, that it should probably quite easily go 24 to 30 hours. But we'll see. Only time will tell. So all in all, it's a fast, snappy device. 1.4 gigahertz dual-core processor. The design is pretty nice. It's more of the tablet style than the Galaxy S2 style. So the Galaxy S2 is very plasticky and thin, and this is a bit more like the Galaxy Tab. I mean, it's still a bit plasticky. It's still got the old rip away, tear away back, but it's kind of a bit more rounded, and just get that properly on there. Usually you'd have TouchWiz on. I have got Launcher Pro on here at the moment. I just prefer this. TouchWiz is not actually bad, and if you look at things like the calendar and the dialer and the contacts, they actually do quite a good job. So I quite like the inbuilt calendar app. You get quite a variety of different options. Yeah, I've never looked at the year one. My goodness, okay, so it's literally just sort of an overview. So something like 3 days is quite a handy one. You get to see in more detail what's going on. So yeah, the calendar app's quite good. And if you haven't seen it, let me show you the contacts, because some people don't realise that when you hold down, hold down too much. Swipe one way, that's going to call. You can just see it coming through. I don't actually want to call it. If you swipe the other way, if you swipe the other way, it starts saying, there you go, message. So you can go straight into text message that person. So things like that. Samsung have done quite a good job with their launcher, I feel. Anyway, so there you go. The Samsung Galaxy Note. It is a big device, but then, you know, if that suits you, if you don't make a lot of calls, which I don't, if it's mainly about, you know, using the screen to see information and interacting with that, then this could well be the best device for you. It can be found around about $530, $550 on the internet. Carphone Warehouse wants $630 at this point. I wouldn't recommend paying that much for the 16 gig. This is a 16 gig version. It does have a micro SD card slot in it, unlike the upcoming Galaxy Nexus. My name's Andy. HomeEdgeRadio.net.